Right? This is not going to take long. The first slide is the last slide or nothing, so it's 4 slides. And the second slide is probably nothing. Oh, it says quiz, but we'll do that later. Right, so when you have to convert from standard form to slope-intercept form, it just means solve for y. Right? There's not much else to say about it. Solve for y. So this is number 4 on the first page. There's actually 2 worksheets, and one of them is A, and the other one is B. So this is on the A worksheet, number 4. So again, what does it mean to solve for a variable? But when you solve, it means isolate that variable, right? And you know, one way or the other, you got to look at that y and say, okay, that's what I'm isolating for. I was tutoring a kid last night, not at this school, that honestly, she thought she needs help. Her SOL is tomorrow at Bethel, and you know, she took something like this and she knew absolutely, you know, she did everything perfectly. I mean, she didn't need help. She's probably going to get a pass advanced. But in any case, you know, what they were taught to do, maybe I should do something like this, is they circled what you were solving for as a first step, just to keep the focus on what it is you're solving for, right? That's what you're trying to isolate. Okay, what do I have to get rid of, which is on the same side of the equal sign? Yeah, I mean, there's 2 things, right? There's the other term of 4x, and then the y itself is being multiplied by 3. Get rid of the 4x first, right? That's always the right step. Okay, now the 4x's cancel, and we still got 3y equals, now you could write this 9 minus 4x, but usually because we want it to be mx plus b, we're going to write the negative 4x first, right? And the 9 is a plus, so it's plus 9. Okay, now we're still solving for this y. What do we have to get rid of? There's a 3, and it's multiplying. So how do you get rid of that 3? Right? Divide. Don't subtract. I see that all the time, that somehow you get to subtract 3. But what's going on in between the 3 and the y is a multiplication. So to undo it, you have to do this, right? And if you're dividing, you're really dividing the whole side. Okay, now that definitely isolated the y. On the right side, how do you divide negative 4x plus 9 by 3? The whole expression by 3. Yeah, I mean, each term is just divided by 3. So whether you write it as this step in between, in the end, you got to have it like this. Negative 4x over 3 plus 9 over 3. And that is negative 4x over 3 plus 3. Right, that was the number 4. So that's what you write down, but you need to show your work and get to that spot. So what is the slope of this line? Negative 4/3, right? It's whatever's in front of the x. And what is the y-intercept? 3. Okay. So we're not doing the graphing part. We're going to do the graphing part. Today we're just going to do, let's practice solving for y. Always a good skill. Next one. This is number 9 on the same page. Okay, solve for y. So I'm going to circle y. All right, what do I need to get rid of from that side of the equal sign? There's a 10x and there's a negative 12. Which do I do first? Brandon. The 10x. Don't forget the x, okay? So how am I going to get rid of that 10x? Subtract, right? If you're not sure what the sign is, right, because there's nothing in front, that means it's positive. Don't look at the negative that's after, the subtract that's after, and think that it's negative. It's actually positive. So you subtract 10x. Subtract 10x. So now these cancel, and now we're going to get negative 12y equals negative 10x minus 4. Okay? Still not solved for y? What should I do? divide by the negative 12, okay? So divide by negative 12. Again, you can show it as two different steps, or you could just make sure you divide both of these by negative 12. Right? Both by negative 12. Okay, now on the left, you just divided by the negative 12, so you cancel it. And on the right, what's negative 10 divided by negative 12? Say again? Yeah, I mean, the negatives cancel, right? So remember, when you divide a negative by a negative, you get a positive. And 10 over 12, there's a common factor there, 2. Right? 2 goes into 10 5 times. It goes into 12 6 times. How about minus 4 over negative 12? What's that going to simplify as? Right. The minus cancels a minus, so it makes that a plus. And 4 over 12, 4 goes into 12 3 times, right? The 12 was in the denominator, so it's 1 over 3. So what's the slope? 5 over 6. What's the y-intercept? 1/3. There you go. So those are the only two examples. The homework is to finish those worksheets. Got to be working on them.